Life in the modern day is extremely tiring. I'm pretty sure you've had instances where you felt the need to get away from people in general and escape into the middle of nowhere to find your peace. Welcome to Must Visit TV. We're here to help you out with some must-visit places around the world. Today we'll be showing you the most isolated and loneliest places on Earth that you should bear in mind the next time you plan to go on vacation. And most if not all of them are pretty adventurous, absolutely gorgeous, and most importantly, off the map. Pitcairn Islands. For intrepid travelers looking for really isolated horizons, the Pitcairn Islands, which are remote from conventional tourism, are a must-visit. There are currently fewer than 60 people living in Pitcairn, which happens to be one of the last of the British overseas territories. These islands support marine fauna in a nearly pristine form, including entire deep-sea habitats with many species that are new to science due to their isolation and low human population. Even though conventional tourism is not popular, there are lots of fun activities you can do on the island, including going fishing, whale watching, walking the Echo Trail, taking local dive trips, and much more. Cape York Peninsula, Australia. If you're up for some rugged adventure, camping, fishing, or just looking for some peaceful me time away from people, be sure to include the Cape York Peninsula in your next trip. Cape York is located to the far north of Queensland in Australia and is an isolated peninsula renowned for housing the region's greatest uninhabited and natural wilderness. This place has a population of only 1,800 people, and this includes most of Australia's indigenous tribes. Cape York is largely underdeveloped, which is basically the reason for its wilderness to remain as untouched as it is, but this makes it pretty difficult to actually get to the place. Of course, you can fly there, with Brisbane being the closest city, but if you're really up for an adventure, try diving there. But be sure to plan and pack carefully for your trip as it can get quite long. If you decide to visit, don't forget to book a Cape York motorcycle tour to make the most of your adventure. Tórshavn Faroe Islands, Denmark. This little city is actually named after the mighty Thor. That's right, the mythical god of lightning and thunder. It was founded in the 10th century and is one of the smallest capital cities in the world. The city is home to just 14,000 people, but is far from being underdeveloped. The city has world-class cuisine, its own independent record labels, and internationally recognized local designers. There's a lot to do once you get there, including exploring their beautiful ports, going shopping, discovering new music, planning hikes and day trips, or just walking around exploring the old town. To get to the city, you can book a direct flight from any of the famous destinations nearby, like Denmark and Norway. Ittoqqortoormiit, Greenland. I know it's a mouthful. Ittoqqortoormiit, a little village on the wild east coast of Greenland, is one of the world's most isolated cities. It is situated at 70 degrees north on the central coast of East Greenland, which puts it well within the Arctic Circle. Greenland, as the largest island in the world, is also the least densely populated region of the world, and this village is one of the most remote settlements on the planet. As of 2020, the population of Ittoqqortoormiit was below 350 people. Ittoqqortoormiit is a small fishing and hunting village, meaning the residents make their living out of hunting whales and polar bears as well as fishing in the warmer months. They also hunt musk oxen twice a year. The summers in this area are only 2 months long, during which time the sea is not blocked by ice, and it's possible to sail into the nearby fjord system of Scoresby Sund. As a result of its isolation, getting to the town itself requires a helicopter flight from the airport. Longyearbyen, Norway. Svalbard's administrative hub, Longyearbyen, is a modest Norwegian metropolis with 2,400 citizens hailing from nearly 53 different nations. The high Arctic wildness is directly outside the little Arctic settlement, where nature lovers live in close proximity under challenging climatic circumstances. With a wide selection of stores, eateries, and bars, as well as a variety of cultural programs, the range of services available to residents and visitors is surprisingly wide. A high standard of comfort and hospitality can be found throughout Longyearbyen. Most visitors from Longyearbyen have a good time and quickly feel at home. After the 1990s, Longyearbyen's tourism industry grew steadily and is now one of the foundational pillars of the community. 35,000 of the 115,000 visitors to Longyearbyen in 2016 arrived there aboard a cruise ship from abroad. While this is true, it rarely feels crowded as the actual population of the town is very less. The town is 3 hours away from Oslo, and you can book a flight with Norwegian Airlines to get there. The Socotra Islands in Yemen. This island is home to over 800 rare species of plant life, out of which 37% cannot be found anywhere else on the planet. The island has a tropical desert climate, and many of the plant life has adapted to their life on the planet. This in turn makes them look pretty alien-like. The Socotra dragon tree is a unique tree that's only found on the island of Socotra in Yemen. They pretty much look like flying saucers and tree trunks. It still can be found among the remains of a former dragon's blood forest. The island is situated in the Indian Ocean between the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa. It is a part of the Socotra Archipelago, which is one of the most botanically diverse island groups on Earth. In fact, UNESCO designated it a World Heritage Site back in 2008. The small island has a population of about 60,000. If you're looking to check this place out, you can always book a flight with Yemen Airways. Bantam Cocos Keeling Islands. The largest community on the Cocos Keeling Islands in Bantam Village. It is situated on Home Island and is home to 500 people, the majority of whom are Cocos Malays. The isolation of the community is the main reason why their traditional language is still alive and spoken by the locals. Bantam has recently developed into a compelling travel destination in and of itself, providing everything a genuine foodie could ever desire, from handmade yogurt and delicious bread to handcrafted charcuterie. So if you were to visit this little town, be sure to check out their market, distillery, and bars, and don't miss out on their Bantam bread. If you're more of an adventure type of vacationer, try snorkeling, kite surfing, or bird watching. Flights are available twice a week from Perth, which is about 1,700 miles from Cocos Islands. Changtang, Tibet. Changtang, often known as the roof of the world, is a region in western Tibet. Changtang is located at an elevation of more than 4,000 meters. Changtang extends roughly 1,000 miles east from eastern Ladakh to Tibet's Qinghai region. The region is home to around 7,000 locals. The Ladakhi annex of the Changtang Plateau is where the Changtang Wildlife Sanctuary is situated. Wild yak, Tibetan antelope, and Tibetan jigatai can all be found in abundance at the Changtang National Nature Reserve, thanks to its steadily improving ecosystem. Today, the area is home to over 1,000 different species of wildlife. Now, visiting this place would actually require you to get a pass, which could be a little heavy in your pockets. But if you're willing to spend the money, you can board a flight from Leh Airport. You can also go by train or even drive. Mutuo County, China. Mutuo County, also called Metok or Medok County, was considered as China's last county with a highway. The transport of goods was purely done through manpower. But this was only the case until 2013, when after a series of failed attempts, a highway was finally opened to traffic. As the most remote region in the southeastern part of Tibet, this is one of the last areas in Asia that remains untouched by the outside world. Although it may be difficult to imagine, Mutuo is a place where it's possible to eat tropical fruits like pineapple and bananas while surrounded by snow-capped mountains. Mutuo is typically 1,000 meters above sea level and is surrounded by a ring of snow-capped mountains that keep it isolated from the outer world. Most locals, primarily the Menba minority, are descended from people who left other parts of Tibet more than a century ago. Getting to the county is a task in itself, which involves trekking through frozen parts of the Himalayas to actually get to the county via a 200-meter-long suspension bridge. If you were to be adventurous and take on the challenge, the beauty of the land on the other side is well worth the trouble. We're pretty sure that by the time you're back from your vacation in these remote places of the world, you'll dread having to deal with the crowds and traffic. We hope you had fun watching this video. Thanks for watching till the end, and we'll see you in the next one.